Hello guys, welcome to this video. So airplane model insights. So episode 1. So airplane model insights will be a series of videos on airplane models and some advice and facts and information regarding airplane models. So if you collect airplane models or if you are planning to collect airplane models, please watch these videos. So start with what is an airplane model. So here we are talking about airplane scale models, high quality airplane scale models. So you have seen the airplane toys which the kids have, like the huge plastic airplanes and everything. So those are not airplane models, or at least they're not airplane scale models. So to distinguish between the airplane scale model and the airplane model, the first thing to note is that the landing gears. First, this is an airplane scale model, and you see the wheels, the landing gears, they are present as in the original aircraft. You can see these wheels, these landing gears I'm talking about. So mostly in the airplane toys, you will see that the landing gears are not like they have the big wheels or something. There are not these landing gears present like in the original aircraft. But in airplane scale models, you have this original landing gears. So this is an airplane scale model, and you see the detailing in airplane scale models. You see it's highly detailed. You see there is the structures on the top, and you see the engine detail. See the engine doors and everything is highly detailed, and there is a text. These black lines, these are actually the text on the wings. So it is written, do not walk outside this area. I think you can't make it in this camera, but that's what is written, and this is present in the actual airplane. And then we have the registration. You see VHXFV, the registration number, and the doors, and you see the detailing. It's highly detailed. It looks realistic. It looks original. And these are airplane scale models. You see, this is the AP, or the auxiliary power unit, with this thing present at the back of the aircraft, the extreme back of the aircraft, the aft fuselage. So you see this is present in, and everything is highly detailed in this aircraft model. This is the cockpit window and everything. So these are airplane scale models. Now we know what our airplane scale models are. So why do we say scale models? Because these come in different scales. For instance, this model, you can see it's a 1:400 scale. That means it is 400 times smaller than the actual airplane. It resembles the actual airplane in all respects, except that it is 400 times smaller. So that's what I mean by 1:400 scale. Now note one thing, that not all 1/400 scale airplanes will be of the same size. For instance, here you have another 1/400 scale airplane. So you see the right aircraft, that is this one, this Etihad A350. It's clearly bigger than this one, the Virgin Australia A330. But both are of the same scale. Both are 1/400 or 1:400 scale aircraft models. Now the reason is that they are the different model. For instance, this is an Airbus A350 and this is 1:400 scale. That means this particular model is 400 times smaller than an actual Airbus A350, and this particular model is 400 times smaller than an Airbus A330. Now of course, an A330 and A350, they are different models and they are not the same in size. So if you scale them down by 400, then also the sizes will not be the same, but these are the same scaled models. Now 1:400 models mostly come like in metal, die-cast metal body, because these models are very small, as you can imagine, very small, and their body is like metal, because at this scale, most of the models are die-cast metal. These are very heavy actually, and you can store these models, like you can display them. These models are for display, because airplane scale models are not toys. They are not meant for playing. They are for display, because they look real and they are for display. Okay. So these models sometimes come with stand, but these two models, you can see, they do not have a stand. They are just to be displayed like this. So these are 1:400 scale models, and these models in Indian rupees, they cost around 4,000 to 5,000, or like on average. Now some expensive models will cost more than 5,000, and there are some 1:400 scale models, metal models, which cost in like around, you can say, 3,000 or even less. But yeah, that's the average cost. Now why do airplane models cost so much? That's a very important question. That's mainly because airplane models, you see, they are, first of all, they are very realistic. They resemble the actual aircraft. So it's very difficult to make these models. The molding of the models and the detailing, it's very difficult. That's why. And the next reason is that you need a license from the original aircraft manufacturer. So these are all licensed products. Okay, these are not just not toys for children. So, and then there are many other reasons, like these are metal models, and so obviously metal models cost more. And then scale models means these are extremely detailed, high quality models for display. And anyway, these are not toys, so these are for display. So these are meant for collectors, and those who have a passion for aviation and those who collect these models, they are ready to pay 4,000 to 5,000 rupees, because these are extremely detailed model. And these models, many of these models come in limited quantity. That means the manufacturer who makes the model, so they make it very limited quantity. Like probably they will make, say, a very few models and of that particular the special models, and so and once those few models are sold, then you cannot get that aircraft model again in the market. So so that's why the cost is very high for the limited edition models. Okay, so now let's look at some 1:200 scale models. So 1:200 scale models are a lot bigger because they are only 200 times smaller than the actual airplane and not 400 times smaller. So this is an 1:200 scale model, and this model comes with a stand. You see, we have a stand here. So this is an Air India Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. Now you see, since this is a plastic model, this is a plastic model, high density plastic, solid plastic. This is not a low quality plastic, but still it's a plastic model, it's not a metal model. And this model, see, the detailing is not so much. You see, it has a fair amount of detailing, but you see there is no registration. Actually, this airplane has no registration number because no such airplane actually exists, because this is a 787 and the livery is the old livery. So no 787 is actually painted like this. But anyway, you see the detailing is less. See, the engine doesn't have the doors and everything, and there are not the markings on the front. It looks plain. It's not much detailed. For instance, in this model, in this 1:400 scale model, you can see there are these antennas on the top. You can see, and then there are these markings. You see these markings. These markings I'm talking about. So these are present in the actual aircraft, but it's not present here. That means this model is much detailed. Now when it comes to 1:200 scale, the model is a lot bigger, and it's, you know, if you display this model, it's very easy to notice from even a far distance. But the thing is that the plastic 1:200 scale models are usually not much detailed. So if detailing is your cup of tea, then you shouldn't go for these models. And these models, since they're big, they do not come in a single piece. They come in different pieces, and you have to assemble the airplane. But assembling is usually not a difficult process. But these 1:400 scale models, they come in a single piece because they are shorter. Obviously, it's easy to pack in a single piece. And so this model is called an in-air model because you see it has no landing gear. So it has no wheels. That means it is flying, because when the aircraft is flying in air, then the wheels are retracted and it looks just like this. So these models which do not come with landing gear or which do not come with wheels, these are called in-air models. And those models which come with wheels, they are called, like, you know, like on-ground models, because they can be displayed on ground. They have the wheels. For instance, this is also 1:400 scale. Sorry, 1:200 scale plastic Air India Boeing 747-400, and you see this airplane model has the wheels. So these wheels for the plastic 1:200 scale models, the wheels are very difficult to attach. And once you attach them, it's very difficult to open them also, because if you tamper too much, there's a high probability that they will get broken, because the plastic wheels are very fragile. But yeah, these wheels are rollable. The wheels actually roll. Okay. And so this is the back wheels, the landing gears. So these landing gears are suspension. What I mean by suspension is that, you see, now it looks like, if you don't know much about airplane models, it looks as if this is very loose or something. It's not fitting well, but actually this is how the wheels are in the actual aircraft. Because when the aircraft is landing, the huge aircraft is landing, then the wheels, you know, before landing the wheels are set like this, and then the wheels can absorb the shock better. So the wheels are actually, this is the suspension, so they can actually move like this. It's not that the model is broken or the wheels are loose, landing gears are loose or something. And this model is also detailed. It has the markings in the body. You see these markings and the registration number, EVA, even on the landing gear doors, and everything is there. The engines are also fairly detailed, but you will not get the same level of detailing as 1:400 scale. Registration is also there. You see VT EVA. But the thing is that 1:400 scale models, as I already told you, they are mostly metal. But 1:200 scale models, the plastic models are also available, metal models are also available. But the metal models are extremely costly if you are going for 1:200 scale, because that's a huge, like those models are huge, and so that's solid metal, like huge, extremely heavy. So those models mostly, like, it's very hard to afford because they're extremely costly. Now 1:200 scale plastic models can cost for around 4,000, 5,600, like that, depending on the availability, etc. But a metal 1:200 scale model, airplane model, can cost 10,000, 14,000, 15,000, like that, like on average. And so that's it. So this is, you can see, an 1:200 scale airplane model, fully metal. This is a fully metal die-cast 1:200 scale model. So this model, it's extremely costly, as I already told you. So you see, this model is detailed. It has the same level of detailing as those 1:400 scale models. Being a 1:200 scale, it's a huge model. You can see the detailing on the engine. You can see these antennas on the top of the aircraft. You can see these antennas, and everything else is also detailed. The airplane, the name of the airplane, you see, it's present here. It's written here, Clipper Flying Cloud. This is a Pan American 747-100, and then you have N734PA, the registration number, everything is detailed. So one thing I would like to mention is that these models, the 1:200 metal models, they have magnetic landing gears mostly, and the front gear turns. You see, it turns left and right. Of course, it is rollable, but along with that, it also turns. But in case of plastic 1:200 scale models, these do not turns. And you see, this is magnetic, so you can easily, like, pull it out. And if you pull it out, you see there is a hole there. So to cover that hole, along with the model, they will give you some covers, some landing gear covers, doors. So those are also magnetic for the metal ones, but not for the plastic ones. So you can put those in place so that it will look as if the airplane is flying, it's in flight, and you can again fix the landing gears, because since this is magnetic, it's very easy to fix. You see, it's very easy to fix. It's magnetic. And you see, these are the wheels. You see, the suspension is present like this, just as I told you. So this is it. Now the one more question is that, like, why do people buy these airplane models if they're so expensive? Like, why do people buy just models for 4,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, or even more? Now the answer is that well, only we will understand the answer, because only we who are extremely passionate about aviation and who know the importance of these models, only we will be able to answer. Because if you are not passionate about aviation, then these models will seem pointless to you, and that's obvious, that's not your fault. But yeah, we buy these models because number one, they are extremely realistic. There's a satisfaction in buying this model, in displaying this model. These are extremely detailed model, high quality models and these are collectible models. Like in the packets, in the boxes in which the airplanes are packed, it is clearly written that these models are above 14 years age, like for children above 14 years of age, because these are adult collectible models. These are not toys for kids, And so that's why, yeah, we love these models, because even though they're expensive, according to us, they're worth it. The detailing and the realistic, they look extremely realistic. So that's why we like these models. And there are many aviation enthusiasts around the world. So these models are actually pretty famous. So I think I could give you a rough introduction on airplane models. So the basic idea. So that was episode 1 of Airplane Model Insights. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.